What's going on, guys? It's Jimmy here. Welcome to our daily show where we discuss everything going on here in our country that you need to know about here on a daily basis. Part of my commitment here is to keep you guys up to date here with everything going on here in our country on a daily basis. And we got some potential new stimulus checks coming out here to millions of people that I'm going to show you here directly on the screen. And we'll talk about several different things here for you guys here in this video. And I'm going to show it to you directly here on the screen. If you've been watching my channel, you know that I literally show you things directly on the screen so you can see the details, see them right here with your own eyes. And, I'm all about the facts, and I like to keep it pretty neutral, And, we got the elections really still kind of going on here as they're still kind of tallying stuff here. And yeah, things have been kind of crazy here. So let me know your thoughts here on this and what will be going forward here. Remember that we've had so far this year about 33 different states that have sent out state stimulus checks, property tax relief checks, inflation relief checks on the state level. And on the federal level, we just had $13 billion going out to Americans for energy assistance, utility assistance, and heating assistance. So that was $13 billion as well going out to Americans. Just started here in November for some states and in December for some states as well. I'll link you to another video here on that here at the end of this video. So that's $13 billion going out to every single state here, I believe, is participating in that. So I'll link you to that video here at the end of that, the end of this video on how to claim that $13 billion. Of course, we also have the $10,000 to $20,000 in student loan forgiveness. That is for really, that's a lot of money for over 40 million Americans. That was done via presidential executive order. And his presidential executive order and former President Donald Trump's executive order shows that executive orders can send out money to Americans. Trump did this in 2020, and he sent out $300 per week for 6 weeks for a total of $1,800, $2,400 if states kicked in money. So Trump did it. Now Biden's doing it for over 40 million Americans. So both presidents, current President Biden and former President Trump, did executive orders to help out millions of Americans. So executive orders can be done to help out millions of Americans. So what the next executive order might be, well, I'll keep you up to date on that because they're already talking about medical debt forgiveness, credit card debt forgiveness, mortgage debt forgiveness, and other types of debt forgiveness. Also, real quick, I wanted to tell you about currency.com, which is a cutting edge platform that helps you purchase cryptos online safely, instantly, and hassle free. As you may know, crypto is the exciting new way to invest, but as like many new exciting new things, it can be a little intimidating, especially if you're a first timer. But with currency.com, it doesn't have to be. With currency.com, you can rest assured that you're in the best place for pros and beginners alike. Currency.com prides themselves on being ultra safe and secure. Their number one commitment is safety comes first. Their service is fast and flawless. You can onboard, purchase crypto, and have it in your wallet in less than 5 minutes. They are compliant in the US, the UK, and the EU, and follow all rules and regulations. All of currency.com's fees are transparent and are the most competitive in the market. They're very flexible with different payment options and spending limits, and currency.com offers 24/7 live support. How about that? And we'll go above and beyond to answer your questions so you feel comfortable in your crypto investing journey. So click the link down below in the pinned comment or the description down below to check out currency.com, where you can buy all the popular coins like Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, and many, many more. Okay, so the next thing I want to talk about here is some new stimulus checks that could be coming out here very soon to millions of Americans. Here we go. Okay, as you can see here, stimulus checks could be coming to these 4 states soon. If you've been watching my channel, you know that 33 different states have already sent out state stimulus checks, property tax relief checks, inflation relief checks. They all kind of do it a slightly different way. Some are still sending them out here this year. And honestly, there's probably going to be a lot sending them out next year as well, as a lot of states just have billions of dollars of extra money. And there could be now 4 more states coming here very soon. And I'll keep you up to date here on pretty much everything here on this channel. Check this out. As we said, there's about 13 states that are currently sending out money. About now, states that are kind of still have money going out around now. Among them are California, where their stimulus check, middle class tax refund is what they call it, up to $1,050 per family, or whatever they want to call it here. $350 per person, up to $1,050 per family, going out right now. Also, Massachusetts, where a new law called Chapter 62F, it's not actually new, it was passed years ago, declares the state has to refund budget surpluses back to residents, which will get about 14% of their state income taxes they paid back in 2021. Other states currently offering stimulus payments include Colorado, Delaware, Hawaii, Illinois, Indiana, Minnesota, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, Rhode Island, South Carolina, Virginia. Many others provided financial support earlier in the year. Like I said, there's been dozens of states that have really sent out money this year, and some maybe continuing the end of this year. And next year, for sure, there'll probably be a lot as well. I'll keep you up to date here on all these things, right? Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel, click the bell icon, and this way you won't miss out on new videos. A few more states may soon announce stimulus package, including tax rebates, gas rebates, reported by Forbes, noting that lawmakers are still debating proposed legislation. Here's what the next round of where the next round of payments may be happening. First up, Kentucky. On the table in the bluegrass state. Let me know if you're in Kentucky. Do you actually have bluegrass there? Yeah, that maybe I'll have to look up a picture here of Kentucky with bluegrass. Is a taxpayer rebate program worth $1 billion from the state budget surplus in Kentucky. The proposal has been approved by the Senate, although the state House of Representatives has yet to vote. So this is in the state of Kentucky. They have a $1 billion that they want to potentially send back that they have approved by the Senate, the state Senate, but the House has not yet voted on it. The Commonwealth Journal reported that some lawmakers are pushing back on the bill, instead favoring reducing income tax over time. The lawmakers ended sessions this year, so it probably won't happen, but that's not true, because we know that a lot of these lawmakers, they call a special session and then they come back and vote on it. So that happens all the time. A lot of these states, that's how they actually pass their checks. They call a special session in, and then they just vote on it. So if it does pass, there would be one-time payments, $500 for single filers and $1,000 for married filing jointly couples. So $500 to $1,000. So that's a decent amount. That could really come in handy for Christmas time. Yeah, $500 to $1,000. Yeah. Montana. So let me know your thoughts on that if you're from Kentucky. Montana has also a $1 billion budget surplus for the year. And remember, these states are really bringing in money every single month. It's surplus money. I haven't seen any states that aren't bringing in extra surplus money at this time. In 2 separate proposals, Republican factions within the state have introduced legislation to return that to residents in taxpayer rebate programs. According to the Montana Free Press. One proposal suggests $1,000 for homeowners who paid property taxes. So $1,000, that's a nice amount, right? And $1,250 for residents who paid income taxes. So that could be, well, if you're a homeowner, I guess you could kind of get a double dip there, right? So you could get $1,000 and $1,250. The other proposal asks for a $3,000 income tax rebate. Wow. So this is for the state of Montana. The state of Montana. So that's a lot there because I think Montana has a slightly lower population than a lot of these other bigger states here. Yeah, Montana's population is only 1 million people total. So like you look at California's population is like 40 million people. 40 million people. So when Montana has a budget surplus of $1 billion for a million people, that's a lot of money. That's a lot of money. So they can send out some big checks here. Potentially $1,000 for homeowners, $1,250 for residents as well, or $3,000 for residents. So yeah, this is for the state of Montana. Lawmakers have asked for a special session to vote on it before the end of 2022, but it has not happened yet. So I'll keep you up to date on that. North Carolina. A substantial 2022 budget surplus is the focal point of a new bill in North Carolina that would put money back in the pockets. There's $6.5 billion in this state of North Carolina. Yeah, so for example, North Carolina has 10.5 million people. So you can see like the difference in population there. But nonetheless, $6.5 billion, that's a lot of money. That's a lot of money. And Democratic lawmakers have suggested using it for a $200 gas tax rebate for local taxpayers to help combat the higher prices of fuel. $200. Like in Montana, some in the local legislature are pushing back, preferring to reduce state income taxes rather than issue a one-time payment. There's been no decision yet on the proposal, according to the Associated Press. So what do you think? Reduce taxes or do a gas tax rebate? Next up, the state of Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania currently has a property tax and renters tax rebate program in place for low income earners. Okay, this is going on right now. The standard benefit is $650. However, elderly, widows and widowers, and the disabled could see $975 in payments. And I believe you have to apply for this. And from what I've read here, a lot of people don't apply for this because they don't know about it. Okay, so if you're from Pennsylvania, yeah, Google the Pennsylvania Property Tax and Renters Rebates Program. If you're a low income for Pennsylvania, if your income limit is $35,000 a year for homeowners and $15,000 a year for renters, half of your income from Social Security is excluded. You could be eligible for this money, and there's an extra bonus for this one time this year as kind of a stimulus bonus. So keep that in mind. But Governor Tom Wolf, who is on his way out because he was term limited, he couldn't be reelected again, has suggested also a $2,000 stimulus check for Pennsylvania residents for people that make $80,000 or less a year to use as part of the stimulus money that Pennsylvania has and is just sitting there. So now with the new Pennsylvania governor, who will also be a Democrat, so the Josh Wolf, he was a Democrat, and Tom Wolf was a Democrat, and now Pennsylvania voted in Josh Shapiro, who's a Democrat as well. The legislature was a Republican, but it was kind of hung up a little bit because it was right before it was an election year. Now that'll be over, whether or not there'll be Republican House and Senate in Pennsylvania or not. But now it's not, the election will be over. So now they might be able to pass a bill to send that money out to the people as well. A lot of other states may be here as well. So really, you got to think here that some of these other states that may have had a little bit of a, hey, we got this stimulus money or this budget surplus money. Because remember, there's two different pots of money. There's state stimulus money from the last stimulus package, $350 billion went out to all the states. So they have that money. Each state got their own share of stimulus money from the American Rescue Plan. And then there's also state surplus money sitting there in the coffers as well. And some states were like, yeah, well, we got to have Republicans and Democrats agree on how to spend the money. And we don't want to do that before the election because, maybe they can't agree or something like that. Okay. But now that the state elections are over with the governors and the state House and Senate, now they can put that aside potentially in any one specific state you're in. And now they'll be able to potentially send out money on the state level. Okay. Because remember, 33 states and maybe even more are going to be sending or did send out money this year. Okay. And remember, on the federal level as well, we've already had 3 stimulus checks. We've had now student loan forgiveness for over 40 million Americans of $10,000 to $20,000. We had the executive orders by former President Donald Trump, which was $1,800 to $2,400 that went out to millions of Americans. We've had the PPP program. We've had the unemployment bonus checks. We've had rent assistance, which was $40 billion, mortgage assistance, $9.9 billion. And what the next programs might be, there's still a lot of stuff going on here, really. Yeah, so I'll keep you up to date here on all this stuff. So make sure you're subscribed down below to our YouTube channel. Click the bell icon so you don't miss out on new videos. It's completely free to do so. And thanks so much for liking and sharing these videos. Also, don't forget to click the link down below in the pinned comment to currency.com. You definitely want to check that out here today if you haven't yet. Yeah, definitely want to check that out. You can click here to watch my video about Thanksgiving stimulus checks. Thanks for watching, guys, and I will see you in the next video.